I'm here in Alabama Hills, one of the most unique areas in the eastern Sierra Nevada mountain ranges. It's got these incredible rock structures, and off in the distance is the Sierra Nevada mountains. And in the wintertime, there's snow up there, desert here. It's an incredible contrast. I love coming here. And I'm here this morning with my good friend Christian, and we're gonna meet up with our good friend John and his wife. And over the next couple days, we're gonna have an amazing adventure up in the mountains here. Should be some good surprises. I don't actually know exactly where we're going. Christian is leading, but I've got the Sprinter van, and all three of us are going to be taking our vans and really putting them through their paces. And I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys lately about what's been going on with the van. And now that I've had it for 2.5 years, I figured this video would be a great opportunity to give you an update on all the things that have been done with it. Plus, I want to challenge some of those maybe stereotypes that people have about the van and talk to you about how I feel the van is a really good application, especially for what we're using it for on this trip and what Regina and I have been using it for over the last 2.5 years. Getting ready to pack up here in a moment. And the great thing about the van is pack up and break down from camp super fast. Put your chair away, put your gear away, shut the door, and you're rolling. Before we hit the trail, I want to remind you guys that it's so important to have some essential gear with you. And one of the things that every off-road vehicle should have in it is a good first aid kit. Having a good kit that you know what's in here and how to use it, but more importantly, having some first aid training to know how to use this kit could save your life or somebody else's. This is the TrailRecon Trauma Kit, and if you're looking for a good quality first aid kit, I will leave a link down below where you can go pick up one of these, and then I encourage you to know what's in here, get some training. You never know when you might need this. Okay, let's take a look at the outside of the van. Okay, let's do a quick walk around of the outside of our 2022 Winnebago Revel. It's a Sprinter van. It's a 144 wheelbase, which we love because it's easy to maneuver on the trail. Plus, you can park this in a regular parking spot, which is absolutely ideal. And we call this the Enterprise, which I think is fitting. It just kind of goes with our whole theme of wanting to go out and explore and seek new places. Let's talk about some of the important upgrades that we've done to this over the last 2.5 years. It's been a slow process, and the folks at Agile Off-Road have really helped us out quite a bit in doing some of these upgrades, and you'll see a few of their components on here. But let's start out in the front. We've got some KC Flex Era 4 lights, so much power on the trail. Underneath here is a custom red Agile Off-Road front skid plate. This is not a rock crawler, but having that protection down there is very handy. Up on the A-pillars, we've got some more KC lights. Those are the Flex Era 3s. And then down below, we have upgraded the tires a few times along the way. And right now, we're running at 285/75 R17, which is essentially a 33-inch tire. It has just made the ride on road so much smoother, and they're wrapped around an Agile Off-Road rim, which has the rapid tire deflators, which I absolutely love. You can deflate these tires in a matter of like 20 seconds. The magic though with this Sprinter van, and probably my favorite upgrade, is the Elite Rip Kit from Agile Off-Road. Let me just tell you that the strut and the shock and the adjustability of this suspension is absolutely incredible. One of the flaws with the Sprinter van is that how rough it rides with all the weight. And that suspension kit is overbuilt. It's got some really big digressive pistons, and it just makes this Sprinter on and off road a completely different vehicle. It was such a harsh and bumpy ride, and now when we're going down the road and we hit a bump on the road, it just sails right through it. It's absolutely incredible. It's a completely different van with that suspension on there. Down below here we have some amp research steps, and I don't know, like about a year ago, we were on the trail and I basically ripped up the stock steps that were on here, and so having these is pretty nice, and those just fold up and tuck away. You got lots of ground clearance, and the great thing about this van is you don't realize how much ground clearance you really have. It's actually quite a bit. One of the important things to think about though with owning a Sprinter van is down here you have your rear solid axle, and if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know that the diff cover on there we ripped off when we were in Oregon, and it was a disaster. We ended up getting towed and just made a nightmare of our trip. So right now on there, it has the Agile off-road diff cover. It's much more confidence inspiring knowing that we have that on there. On the back, we have an Owl tile carrier, and I don't remember what this is called, but it's also from Owl. We've got the Max Trax and the shovel. So that's just a quick tour of the outside of the van. Very happy with how it looks and how it's all come together. But the inside of the van, boy, that's where we have really taken things to the next level with power and water and all the goodies. So when we get to camp either tonight or tomorrow, I'll talk you through all of that stuff. It has really transformed things and made being out here in the wilderness for days on end for Regina and I perfect. I'm excited to see where the trail takes us. We're gonna pack up soon and head out of here. As we're rolling out of camp this morning, it's hard not to look around and feel like you're driving through a movie set. And we kind of actually are. Alabama Hills has been the backdrop for many Hollywood films. And when you're here weaving through these granite boulders with the Sierra Nevadas towering over you, it's easy to see why. What I love most about this place is the rocks seem to tell a story. They're weathered, unique shapes, and they're stacked in a way that almost looks impossible. It's one of those spots that reminds you that you don't have to go halfway across the country to find a scenic adventure. It can be right here in your backyard, waiting around the next turn. We're Oscar Mike, and just passing through the town of Lone Pine, which is a really quaint little town. It's kind of rustic, and there's some good restaurants there. Also, if you need fuel or groceries, it's a good stopping point. We're going to be heading north on Highway 395. Going to go to the Mammoth Airport and meet up with John, and then we're hitting the dirt, guys. I'm not leading this trip, and I don't know exactly where we're going, which kind of makes part of this adventure pretty intriguing. I'm excited to see some new places along 395 that I haven't been to before, and these guys I've been out on the trail with before. They're just good, down-to-earth fellas, and we're gonna have a great time. We drove about 90 minutes north on Highway 95 to meet up with John and his wife Karen just outside the Mammoth Airport. And before we hit the dirt, we need to air down. All right, we just met up with John and Karen, and now we're gonna head just a couple miles down the road, head inland, and we're gonna go to a place called Hot Creek, which I've never been to before, and I'm looking forward to it. But I just wanted to show you guys, we're airing down here, which just makes a little sense, how fast these quick tire deflators go down. It's pretty incredible how much air these take out and how fast they do it. So basically what we have here, they have tapped the rim, and there's a quick deflator, and I put a gauge on here just like you normally would, and then you just pull. And watch this, and it's loud. Just that quick took me from 45 PSI to 35 PSI. You really gotta pay attention because you will drop the air super fast. Before we push deep into the backcountry, we're making that quick stop to this Hot Creek, a spot I've somehow never checked out before. Out here, the Earth's been relentless for millions of years, and every so often it leaves behind something wild. Just up the road is a place where the ground literally breathes steam and crystal clear water hides a dangerous side. It should be pretty incredible to see firsthand. All right, it was just a short drive from the main road, and we just arrived, and you can see the Hot Creek, and there's all kinds of steam coming off of it. I'm excited to hike down there and check it out. Now, the great thing about the van is when I need to leave Luna in there, I can turn the AC on and let it run. I think it's probably safer to leave her in the van than let her run around hot water. So I'm gonna leave her in there, and we're gonna go check this out. It's a short hike down, and as soon as you see the steam rising off the creek, it's a reminder that this whole valley is still sitting on top of a massive volcanic system. Beneath our feet, there's a reservoir of magma that heats the groundwater and forces it back to the surface. It looks calm on top, but the water here can spike to near boiling without warning. It's beautiful, but it demands your respect. What's wild is this whole stretch of the Eastern Sierras is dotted with evidence of geologic fire. The landscape out here isn't just scenic, it's also alive, shaped by the eruptions that happened not all that long ago. So I've driven north and south past this more times than I can count, and I never bothered to come in here and check it out. And what a beautiful, beautiful spot. Now, there's a strong smell of sulfur in here. But it's really cool. You got this really super hot pool that's just got all the steam coming off of it. And then you have this crystal clear creek. In fact, there's little minnows you can see, but you can see all the way to the bottom. It's just beautiful. There was actually a sign up there for fishing. You can actually come fish out here. What a great place. I'm glad we came out here. Now, I think the trail keeps on going. At least that's what Christian says. So I'm gonna enjoy this for a little bit more and then hit the dirt. We are heading a bit east and then due north. Christian has plotted an extensive route that we'll be following over the next several days, but it's not a hard and fast track route, just a guide. We don't know where we'll be camping every evening, and if we see a detour worth taking, we're gonna take it. The landscape out here opens up to this beautiful, massive meadow, almost endless, painted with yellow blossoms that stretch as far as you can see. The air out here is heavy with the smell of sage, or maybe it's these flowers, but either way, it smells great. The vans are cruising along without a hiccup, but not every rig in our convoy is having the same luck. Karin's driving the Ineos Grenadier, and it's about to throw us a curveball. Just stopped for a moment because John and Karin were on the radio, and they could hear that one of the tires just kept gushing out air, and John is behind. He's like, oh, that's way too low. So they're adding some air. We're gonna see if we can figure out where that leak's coming from. But what a beautiful area, this huge open meadow with the mountains all around. This place is beautiful. Flat tires and off-roading go hand in hand. If you're on the trail enough, I don't care what tire you're running, you're gonna end up with one sooner or later. The best way to keep it from happening too often is to inspect your tires regularly and replace them before the tread starts to give up. In this case, the Grenadier had a tire that had a nasty split in the inside sidewall, nothing you can plan for. Luckily, John is one of those guys I really admire. He shows up over-prepared with every tool and spare part you'd ever need. Because of that and a little helping hand, we've swapped this out in no time. And oh, that won't be the last time the Grenadier will need assistance on this trip. Okay, they got the tire swapped out in quick order, and John pointed out, because we were giving him a hard time, I'm like, well, you gotta be careful now because they don't have an extra spare, that actually every vehicle here is on the same size tire with the same rim bolt pattern. So 285, 75, R17 on all the vehicles, so we can pop more tires, we're good. Let's not do that. With the tires sorted, we are back up and running, and we're technically on the Antelope Mountain Trail, but with Christian behind the wheel, it's more like we're aiming for Mono Lake and letting the terrain decide the details. Out here, there's no shortage of crisscrossing tracks, and half the fun is picking the one that looks the most interesting. As long as it points us in the right direction, that's the trail we're taking today. Pulled off the side of the trail. Great little spot here for lunch. So we've popped up the awnings, having a little chow, let the dogs run around and get rowdy, having a good time. When I started this video, I mentioned that there's some stereotypes that I want to bust the myths of, and that is van life is not all about 20-somethings with Instagram accounts. My experience, having gone out with many people in the van, has been, you know, they're a little more seasoned in life. They've had some good careers, and now they want to come out here, whether it's solo or with their spouse, and they want to have some nice amenities and be comfortable, but still have the ability to get deep in the backcountry like we're doing right now. And so that has been my experience. I've met so many great people out in the van. Now, the van does not do Jeep things. Let's be honest. Like my Jeep Gladiator with the camper, that thing will go just about anywhere I want. The Land Cruiser with the trailer is still more capable than the van. I mean, the van's tall, it's big, it's not gonna get through tight technical trails, but it has surprised me where I've been able to take the van, and we'll see where it takes us on this trip. One of the things I really enjoy about this group is the pace. Too many times I've been out with folks who just want to grind through the day without ever stopping to take a proper break. Today, we're doing it right.
taking the time to do a hike, have some lunch, and just enjoy where we are. The trail so far has been mild. Nothing these rigs can't handle, but that's not gonna last. As we head further north, well, let's just say every one of these vehicles is gonna be put to the test.
We are definitely in the thick of the forest now, and we've got to be careful because we're tall. I think this van is close to 10 feet tall. And, you know, the Jeep guys that come through here and the guys at 4Runners, you know, they take care of the lower branches, but these taller branches, yeah, they're scraping us up a little bit, but we're making it through. Nothing crazy here. I will say the terrain has changed. It is very bumpy. There's a lot of whoops, and I'm thankful to have this upgraded suspension. I remember before it was just so brutal on a trail like this, and this is much smoother, much more comfortable. And if I needed to, I could make some adjustments. You know, if I was carrying extra weight, if I wanted to bring extra water or whatever, you know, I could stiffen things up. But right now, it's dialed perfectly. Well, we made it to camp after a very long day. It was a good time. We were not on a sprinter trail. That was more of a side-by-side trail, but it was a blast. And good on Christian for getting us all the way here without touching the road. That was pretty incredible. Now we are here. There's a beautiful crater mountain up here that's very sandy, and we can see Mono Lake off in the distance. And we had a choice. We could camp here, we could camp at Mono Lake. And we're like, you know, this is really scenic. So we all decided to camp here. Now I am not very level. These guys have gotten pretty level. I'm probably going to maneuver myself a couple more times, but the good news is this is pretty soft sand, so I can dig a hole and drop a tire into it if I need to. Yeah, dogs are having a blast. They've been ready for this. It's good to be at camp, guys. We're gonna enjoy the evening. What are you making, John?
I forget what it's called. Bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
My buddy Chris King taught me this, and it's our favorite camp appetizer.
You guys know I'm not this fancy when it comes to camp meals, but I love seeing what people can whip up out here. And let's be honest, I enjoy eating it even more. This simple toast topped with fresh tomatoes, mozzarella, basil, and drizzle of balsamic vinegar was pretty tasty. And admittedly, a way better and healthier kielbasa that I grilled up. I really need to start eating healthier at camp. Christian cooked up a nice steak and brought something to camp I had never seen before.
It's the air fryer.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an air fryer at camp. What are you making?
Yeah, I'm making a few potatoes.
Okay, now what is that all you ever cook in there? What else are you making there?
I like to make brownies.
Brownies?
Yeah.
At camp?
You know, a nice day at camp.
Nice.
Make some brownies. It's great.
Nice. Well, thanks for leading today, dude. Today was a great trail.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun.
I don't care if you're camping in a ground tent, a rooftop tent, a trailer, or the back of your Jeep or a van. What matters is you're out here in nature, comfortable and surrounded by like-minded people. At the end of the day, it's moments like this that make it worth it. Sitting around the fire, laughing, swapping stories, and reliving the adventure. That's what it's all about.
Good morning, guys. I am 2 cups of coffee in, enjoying this brisk morning. It is chilly this morning. Luna and I had the heater going in the van this morning before we got out, and I got my jacket on. It's just nice. You know, it's August, and it's a cold one up here. And we're gonna go higher altitude today, so it might get even a little chillier. The sunrise this morning is very interesting. It's almost like there's a forest fire somewhere off in the distance and just kind of smoking out the sunrise this morning. It's very ominous a little bit. This has been a pretty cool spot. None of us have camped here ever before, and I've marked this spot because this is worth coming back to. And then we're gonna head out towards the lake and then up higher in elevation. And today we're gonna really push the Sprinter vans. And that's kind of the myth that I also want to bust. Is everybody's like, oh, Sprinter vans aren't capable. Well, if you put a locker in them, you put a little bit bigger tire in them, you lift them a little bit, you know what? It surprised me where that van has been able to take us. And I don't intend it to be a rock crawler ever, but I love it when I get to an obstacle and I'm like, you know what? I don't have to turn around. I can keep going. Today, we're going to intentionally push it a little bit, and hopefully we'll be fine and get up to about 11,000 feet, which should be pretty incredible. All right, let's hop in the back of the van real quick. Let me show you some of the upgrades that we've done that have made it so we can stay out longer and not have to worry about some of the basics. Let's talk about some of the upgrades that we've done back here that have been really important to making this van just more practical for us. One of the first things that I did is I took this over to Agile and they upgraded the fuel tank. So we have a 40-gallon diesel fuel tank in this thing, and it has just increased the range so much that I rarely think about fuel. Now, DEF I burn through quite a bit, but fuel, just don't even think about it. And the nice thing is when we get to camp, if your fuel tank is too low, sometimes that heater won't run, and I don't even think about that now. It's so nice to have that fuel tank. Also, we upgraded the water tank. So the Revel comes with a 23-gallon water tank, and that's okay for a couple for 1 or 2 nights. But if you want to spend longer periods of time out, you're going to have to fill that tank up. And so we've upgraded to, I think it's a 34-gallon tank, which has made it so much nicer to not even think about how much water we're using. I mean, if we want to take a shower, of course, we're taking like a Navy shower, so we're being pretty quick in there. But if we want to take showers in there, it's very convenient. Washing the dishes, we don't even think about it. And that has been very nice. In the back here, I've installed the Canyon Van's bench system. I had both of them back here, but it just took up too much space. And I like having a little bit of storage area, plus a little bit of area where Luna can kind of run around back here. So right now I just have the one bench. It's very convenient to have a place to sit, but really I like it for the storage. I have all kinds of gear under here, and it just keeps everything nice and secure. So that's a nice upgrade. The thing we did most recently has been such a game changer. So we took this over to Agile Off-Road and they installed the Roam Rig battery upgrade. So originally the Revel came with a 320 amp hour lithium battery, and we've doubled that capacity with the Roam Rig system. So now I have 640 amp hours. And not only do they just install the system, but they basically reinforce the entire system, because honestly, Winnebago Revel didn't do a great job initially. In fact, they did a recall on it. Well, the guys over at Agile took it a step further and really reinforced everything. So all the batteries are in there and very nice and secured. All the wiring has kind of been rerouted and cleaned up. It's so nice. We can run that air conditioner almost all night if we need to, which is very convenient. And when we're cooking with the induction, making coffee, whatever, all the electricity that we're doing, charging batteries, now I don't even think about it. So it's been an incredible upgrade. But all these upgrades combined have just been making the ability to get out and stay out longer so much nicer. Okay, finish the coffee, and we're gonna hit the trail here soon, guys. Okay, go, get in the van. Good girl. About 2 miles outside of camp, and we just cleared the forest and things just opened up. We've got the beautiful Sierra Nevada mountains all around us. You got a little bit of smoke in the air, but you still got some pretty good visibility, and we can see the lake just up ahead. I've never been all the way around the eastern side of Mono Lake, so I'm looking forward to that today to see what we find out there. All right, we just stopped on the side of the trail here. There's a sign that says Panam Crater. So we're gonna walk up here for a little bit and just go check this out. But let me tell you, the smell of, I don't know if it's sage or if it's these yellow flowers, it's very overpowering, but it smells so good out here, guys. It's so incredible. Yeah, except for the smoke off in the distance, the temperature, the smell, the views, life's good. Reached the top, a little out of breath, but look at these rock formations and structures out here. They're really cool. I'm no geologist, I don't know my rocks very well, but I think there's a lot of obsidian in here and just a lot of volcanic rock. It was a good hike up here. It's good to stretch my legs and get a little exercise. You know, after sitting in the van, it's good to do stuff like this. Okay, well that was definitely worth the hike. Very cool. I love it. Now, let's go check out the lake and see what we find down there. To a place called Navy Beach. Hoorah, Navy. And off in the distance, right on the edge of the water, you can see what looks like stalagmites. And apparently those are the tufas. So I'm gonna hike down, check them out.
Mono Lake is one of the oldest lakes in North America. It's a salty, alkaline lake with no outlet, which means the minerals have built up here for ages. This stretch of shoreline is known as Navy Beach, named after the Navy pilots who once trained here doing low-level bombing runs. But what really makes this spot stand out is the tufa towers. These strange formations are built underwater, where springs rich in calcium mix with the lake's carbonate. Over centuries, they rise up like stone spires. And as the lake level has dropped, they have left these more exposed, giving Mono Lake this surreal, almost alien look. We saw some osprey nesting on top of the tufa, and watch where you walk here because the ground is covered in what's called an alkali fly. They're gross, if you ask me. There's so many. It's a very interesting place and worthy to stop and have a look. But now it's time to make our way around the lake, and what we will see on the other side of the lake will take us all by surprise. About halfway around Mono Lake, the trail was starting to get more and more rutted out and starting to get a little muddy in sections. We had stopped to assess a large muddy area before driving the vans through when we stumbled upon something we didn't expect. The Montgomery Pass herd of wild horses. Watching them thunder across the trail right in front of us was nothing short of incredible. These herds have roamed the high desert for generations, tough enough to survive these extremes out here and still moving with all kinds of wild freedom you can feel in your chest. It was one of those moments that stops you in your tracks, reminds you that this land still belongs as much to them as it does to us. I won't ever forget this moment.
That was incredible. In all my years coming out to places, I've seen a few wild horses here and there, like 5 or 6. I've never seen anything like that. That was special right there, guys. That was pretty special. I'm glad we're out here today.
That was amazing. I've never seen that many in one spot. They're 300 maybe.
Yeah, you've been doing this for a while, John.
I've done this a lot. Yeah, once in a while you come across a small little group and then they're way off and they're spooked. These guys, they own the place. Man, that was amazing.
I think that the Grenadier and the pack of horses has the same amount of horsepower. There was hundreds of them.
Yeah, no, I used to ride horses for many, many years back in the day. So seeing them out here in the wild, I have never seen anything like it.
What a special moment for all of us. But now we need to focus because ahead of us is some mud, some deep sand, and the deepest ruts of the trail yet. Things are about to get real.
That was an A for effort, dude.
Yeah, but about a D- for actual skill here. Yeah, that wasn't very good. I blame it on the locker.
John's over here scouting it out. John, you gonna try? Might as well, he says. Okay, there is a bypass here, but Christian is feeling spunky and he's gonna try it again. He said the first time he did it with the locker on. This time he's gonna try without the locker and just see how it works. So we'll see how this goes. No joy. All right, Christian gave it his best effort. 2 good tries, one with and one without the locker, and no joy. It's hard to get a lot of speed with that Sprinter van going uphill. My setup is almost identical to him. The same size tires, lift, the rear locker, so I would probably have the same results. However, John has an Atlas transfer case in his, so we'll see how he does. You almost got the cameraman. You almost took the cameraman out, John. We thought you were gonna have this because you cheated and aired down a little bit more. Plus you got the transfer case.
Yeah, I didn't air down that much.
What happened?
It's very, very sandy. And then the filmer, the photographer guy was right up there. And when I saw me going towards him, I slowed down.
Yeah, I was jumping in the bush, dude. All right, here we go. John's gonna give it a second attempt. Cameraman is staying way out of the way this time. Woo! It was all about having speed.
How did the Grenadier get stuck?
John, what happened?
We need an inflatable rock.
We are 200 yards from the road where we're gonna air up and hit pavement, and the action has not stopped yet. We hit this deep rutted section, and Christian and I made our way through here. We kind of gave it a little gumption, and Card was coming through here in the Grenadier, and she seems to have gotten herself a little bit of high center. She's stuck on her belly. Now that is not a stock Grenadier. That's got a lift and that's got some bigger tires. It just goes to show you though that the Sprinters, they have some pretty good ground clearance. We're gonna get her out of here, no problem. And she'll probably just have to power through this and she'll be fine. But what a good way to end the day. What an amazing day on the trail. Who would have expected it?
So go ahead. Go, 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 go. She went with a lot of authority through that. She did, but then
Okay, I've just backed down all the way down the trail and we're going to pull her forward. So John's getting me hooked up and I'm gonna give her a good yank and hopefully we'll get him out of there. Stuck pretty good. So John, what do you think happened?
So the straight axle was probably the nemesis here. You'd see where the front skid just dug in all the way across here, and it would high center the vehicle front and rear, and it just teetered in there and lost traction. Surprisingly, the Sprinters have gone through with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't have anything in the front. It's just a big skid plate plow.
We'll now see how the big whale goes through now.
Yeah, now that we've dug it all out, we'll see. What an incredible day on the trail. There were some surprises I did not expect. The horses were pretty cool. The tufas were all right. And then getting to do a recovery, that was a whole lot of fun. Now, since leaving Mono Lake, we've headed north quite a few miles, which will set us up tomorrow to go up to Kavanaugh Ridge, which is 11,000 feet. And it's gonna put these Sprinter vans through our paces. We've camped at a spot that I've been to many times over the years, and if you watch the channel, you've seen this a few times. This is one of my favorite little hidden spots right on this beautiful creek in the trees. It's a good spot for all of us. It's gonna be a great night, and in the morning, more surprises in store, I think. So, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna chill out, have a casual dinner. Yeah, it was a good day, guys.
Because we have like the head enough here.